Hello there, Internet and you amazing creatures of the beyond. Welcome to our map. So, I've done this mockup. It's nothing too crazy, and we're just gonna do the mountains today. But I figured that this mountain alone is not enough. So, I am going to produce another one, just so we can see the process. So, I'm kind of happy with what I have here. Just gonna ungroup this and I'm gonna compile it into one path. So it's much easier to work with because we're gonna duplicate this. So I was thinking like the mountains usually have like high peaks and smaller peaks. So we're going to make a smaller peak now. And probably we're going to do something like, I don't know. I have some references in the background, so I kind of see what I'm doing. I don't know, something like this. Maybe that's a bit too thick. Yeah, I know. It's a bit laggy, but what can we do? Still too thick. Maybe we push this something like this. And here, something along the line of this. Yeah, that looks much better. Okay, so that is one side of the peak. The other one should be something along the side of this. So something along the point of this. Not too bad. Just a bit. Okay, this one I don't really like. Something is overlapping. Hop. And maybe I push this a bit higher. I don't know. For this, we're going to apply. So I'm basically saying the sun is on the left side, top left side. So we're going to create sort of drop shadow here. Something like this. Maybe it's a bit too thick. We shall reassemble it. I think this one is too long, maybe smaller. This one inwards. Maybe this is too high. Oops. And maybe this one a bit less. I kind of like that. Maybe this one a bit thicker. So these are the high peaks, low peaks. Let's see, what can we do to the low peak? So we need to add some shadow, but this shadow should be quite large because this is a very flattish peak. Something along the lines of this. Again, don't try to make anything too wild or too detailed. These are just references. And it's only meant to give the impression of shadow. Does not necessarily have to be accurate. And you can make it as dense as you like. I'm just doing it a bit more spread out and chunkier just for the efficiency progress or purposes. I can't think. I'm trying to think what I'm doing, but I can't think. Something like that. Well, I don't like one particular thing. I need to make them kind of in the same, pointing at the same direction. Maybe this one more. Maybe this one could be thicker, so we don't have to create the shadow. So if it's like that, but then I would like the peak to be also a bit more thicker. It's looking like something. Oh, come on, the other one. The other one. This one. Oh my god, this one. Yeah, I kind of like this. Okay, so we're going to select them all, make them like this. I think this will be a nice element. So we're gonna start with this over here. Now, let's see, black is kind of strong. So let's go with something like a darker brown, something like this. This looks okay. So I'm gonna reduce the opacity over. Whoa. Yeah, I'm gonna reduce this opacity so we see where we place stuff. And we're gonna do it like this. So in the back, we have like larger peaks that stand out. Like the idea is to not push them out of the border, so we can play with them like this. Like if you're going south, we're making them smaller. Then this one should go something like this. Leave a bit of breathing space between the border and the mountain, so it stands out better. We can also put it like this, it doesn't have to be connected. Here we can go like this. And we're gonna put a smaller one here. Actually, I'm gonna start doing the smaller ones. Like so. You can put them as dense as you wish. Maybe even play with various sizes. Oh. And once we're starting to get here, let's get our second one. So we're gonna start putting them again, dark brown. So they're gonna be more on the edge. So we want them to be defining this path. Again, we can play with the sizes. The cool thing about the forest is that we can put it around trees, around the, sorry, mountains. Oh, whoops, this one. So I can also define this part and this. Maybe this one can go, oops, lower. As I said, there is no good or bad way to do this, just experiment. Making this one smaller over here. Give it sort of a parallax effect. Some of them can be even larger in the middle. So we can put smaller one in between. Something like this. Maybe I can push this one lower, this one lower and make it bigger. Whoops, what did I do? This one larger. And if we look about it, oh, this one could be higher. And a bit larger, why not? Play with variations. Maybe we can input one that's smaller here. And another one just to close the loop. Kind of give it that impression. Oh, we can put one here, a lot smaller. Just so that we change some of the things. Maybe this one could be higher. And again, if you find it very difficult to play with, I mean, if they're overlapping and stuff, you can fill them up and with a color, and then you won't be able to see through them. Of course, you can also edit them. This one is a bit problematic here, isn't it? Well, whatever. Something like this. So I think it looks dense enough. Maybe I can drop in one more over here. I can actually leave the kind of like this thing, because if we remove it, it's gonna look like this. It's kind of bland, but this one doesn't look bad. Maybe it needs a bit more pushing upwards like so. So we get a better defined area, but it doesn't look bad. Doesn't need to cover the entire thing. If I blur it. Hey, not too shabby. The only problem is maybe reduce more of the opacity. Yeah, this is like watercoloring a bit. So we can leave this for the river to come out, this gap here. I'm still trying to debate if this is too strong or if I should leave it like, let's try a 15, 30 with 20. I don't want it extremely strong. It also kind of gives the impression of snow here and there, where there isn't any color. But yeah, that doesn't look too shabby. Well, it's our design, we can play with it. So I'm kind of trying to say that this mountain pass, well, not mountain pass, this mountain cluster is higher in the background and smaller in the front. But here, so let's first of all create this as a cluster. So let's group it and call it mountain cluster. Again, I'm doing it very sloppy. I'm not trying to follow any specific pattern or create them very dynamic or very, I don't know, symmetrical and stuff like that. I'm just doing it for reference, fast and easy. Bam, 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 bam. Just throw it in there. That's how maps should look like. The more sloppy you go with it, the more realistic it feels, the more rough and interesting. Although I don't like this forest corner over here. We can do something about it. Ah, well, something like that. Maybe this one can also use some improvement, but we'll get to that when we get to that. Okay, so let's take one of, I don't know, the highest peak. Well, it doesn't have to be the highest peak. It can just be a normal peak. So again, 15 here, 20 here, 30. Okay, so we can go like this. Then we can sort of do the same thing we were doing earlier. So now we are getting smaller to the point where we need the other mountain. Like so. It's transitioning. We make this one smaller. This one smaller. Maybe this one can be a bit higher. And we can add one extra here. Why not? And it does look good, I have to admit. Let's name this cluster 3. This one should be mountain cluster 1. Although I'm curious, am I using the same correct parameters? So this is 1320. Okay, so 20 it is. Good. Oh, that's 13, not 15. Let's do the same. 13, 20. And we can try to define darker colors where they're more together and lighter colors where they're more thinned out. So here I would go with this standing. Oops. What did I do? Oh, come on. Okay, so this one can be a bit taller because it's more in the foreground. So I can do something like this. We can just make only this type of mountain over here. Just a nice pile of lower peaked mountains. They can be larger. Like this. And let's add one more extra over here. Or we can, why not, take one of these ones and strap it over here. Why not? Doesn't really fit. Let's just continue with this one. Something like this. Maybe this one a bit lower and a bit larger. This one is a bit more dense than this one. Maybe I should have created clones. It's not too late, but whatever. Yeah, this one are definitely more dense than this one. Well, this one doesn't look too bad. Maybe I should have pushed the shadow more along this side, like here. But whatever. The point is to get references. So let's try this this concept. No, the other one. Oh, I can't catch it. So I'm gonna try to push the opacity here to 40 because that one is darker. I'm gonna push this to 30. I'm gonna leave this to 10, to 20, sorry. Well, maybe this one is too much. Oh, come on. Maybe a 30 as well. Yeah, because it's complementing with all of the structure of the mountains here. So this one can be lighter, more dune-like. This one is a bit denser. Not bad, not bad. So here we can go with only high mountains all the way. So just a second, let me create the mountain cluster 2. Perfect. So 1, 2, 3, and this is gonna be the fourth one. So let's just take the biggest peak we can find. Maybe even make it larger. These are more imposing. Forgot to change this. So 13, 30. Something like this. You can also drop in a few smaller ones in the back. Just so like we kind of point out that it's an impenetrable pass. Maybe take one more and slap it over here. They're kind of getting thin, but could be better, could be worse. This one is overlapping too much. This one could be a tiny bit larger. I could lower their size here. Like so. I don't know, maybe there's a necromancer tower in this area and he doesn't like to be disturbed. Maybe we can add a smaller one over here. You know, near the forest. And another one here. Well, no, I think this is taking too much. I kind of like this. Maybe this one a bit higher. Yeah, something like this. Maybe we can push the... Or not. We're just saying like this is totally snowed out in the north. Sorry about that. But why not try... Well, maybe I can push the forest in between here. Or make something happening over here. We shall see. Okay. Okay, that doesn't look too bad. We're giving it a bit more life. I don't know. Let's try 20. Is it? Nah, that's a 30. Kind of. Nah. 13, 15? No, 13 seems to be the magical number here for some reason. Let's see, what if I try to push this to a 40? And maybe it can be a 15 now, yeah. And maybe this one, first of all, it could be a bit thicker here. And we could go with a 35 with a 15. 15. interesting. This is light, this is a bit darker. Yeah, it's starting to shape up. I think I'm gonna stop it here until I can figure out something else, because it's like we're gonna take it incrementally. This requires testing out. Some things work, some things don't. I'll have to see how we're gonna do the things. I think I'm gonna do the forest or the hills next, depending. Maybe the forest, but we'll have to figure out how to do the forest, because there is a river growing through here. Maybe we'll connect this river into the lake or something. Actually, this isn't a bad idea. This could connect to this. Maybe we do something specific over here. I don't know. Interesting. We'll have to play with. This is like an open valley here, so it's a lot to take into account. Yeah. I kind of like this. No, have I duplicated something here? Yep, I knew it was a bit too thick. It looked a bit off. Maybe this one can be a bit higher. Oh, not too bad. Plenty of experimentation here. Oh, okay, never mind. I see what's wrong with that one. Sneaky. Sneaky. Okay, I like it. I'm gonna save. I'm trying to think if there's anything in particular. We're probably going to simplify the forest, because I'm not in the mood to place a billion things. Okay, this one needs to be set into a group. So this is gonna be mountain cluster 4. Let's set it in its correct positioning. Perfect. I love it. I think it's starting to shape out like a really beautiful map. I know it's hard to envision right now because of all of the generic placeholder shapes, but I think it's gonna look cute. And then maybe we'll add some more stuff to decorate it. There's so much we can do. The important thing is to keep it simple and playful. Uh, Try to see. It's all about your feelings, you know. If you feel it looks good, it looks good. If you don't, then just wiggle with it. You don't have to be perfect, you know. Just fill in the gaps. That's what I'm saying. Okay, guys, stay awesome. I'll catch you in the next episode when we'll do something else. See ya. Bye.